My name is Jeffery Suttles. I am a professional musician, producer, writer. The music came about when I was about 5 years old, but playing in the neighborhood recreationally in South Central, you play sports. You box, you run track, you do whatever, baseball, football. So I started getting into sports. The music was just something that I would listen to with the same intensity as a musician, but I never got a chance to play. Well, when I got in high school, I would have to walk to practice, so I walked by the band room all the time. And the band was really corny, so I didn't really stick my head in there. In my 10th grade year, corny music. 11th grade, corny music. My senior year, I'm playing football. I'm like the running back in the high school team, and I could tell that the music teacher had changed because I was walking by and they were playing some Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I said, wait a minute. So I walked over to the door, I stuck my head in, and the teacher looks at me and says, hey, you look like you can play. You play anything? I said, yeah, I play. He said, what do you play? I said, I play drums. And he says, you know this song? I said, yes. So he said, well, come on, sit down and play it then. So I went around and I sat down. And they were playing, I forgot what song, but I played the song. We stopped, and he said, hold on right there. He said, everybody in class, I'll be right back. He took me into the principal's office and told me I need to get him enrolled into my class tomorrow. Music was natural for me. It's just something that I knew how to do. Whatever I hear, I can play. Even to this day, the only formal training I got was those 6 months. That's all I had. To teach somebody to read music in 6 months is kind of tough. But I did get the concept. So I made up my own coding system. And I ended up having to use that when I got my first recording session. That teacher, his name is Ronald Turner. He was the music teacher at my high school. Knew the drummer, his name is Ndugu Chancler. Ndugu Chancler played with Miles Davis. Let me see who else. Weather Report, Carlos Santana. Recorded with Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, blah, 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 blah. If you look him up, he's just like a laundry list of who he's done stuff with. And when I graduated high school, he took me to Ndugu's house. And so he just said, man, you play drums, right? He was playing me. I didn't think anything of it, but when I think back on it, I kind of said, they set me up. So I sat down and he put on something for me to play to. And I just played it, just put it down. I listened to it for a second and I played it. Played it for about 2 or 3 minutes and I stopped. And he was like, okay. From that day on, he called me every day. He started taking me to his recording sessions. I'd go to at least a session 3 times a week. All of these big stars I'm seeing him with, I'm just sitting in the corner, not really realizing that I'm learning. I was more interested in what he was doing, more so than who the people were, but I was learning how to do sessions. I was learning how to produce. I was learning how to run a session and didn't really realize it until I started doing it myself. All that stuff was from that teaching, and he knew that he was doing that. But he couldn't get me to play. He couldn't get me off the football field until the football let me go. Right before the season was supposed to start, got a letter in the mail. Unfortunately, we're going to tell you that our semi-pro league is stopping. The whole semi-pro thing just disbanded. I didn't have an agent. I had nothing. Once again, I had to make a decision by myself. And when that happened, I said, this is not working out. I'm a kid. I'm only 20, 21, 22 years old. And I said, this is not working out. So I had to quit. I said, I can't keep doing this. My mentor found out about it. I was down, And he says, look, man, I'm getting ready to go on the road with the Jazz Crusaders, and I need a drum tech. I didn't even know what a drum tech was. So what is that? I said, explain this to me. He said, you pack my drums in the truck, you drive to the next city, set my drums up in the venue, and we play the concert, break my drums back down, put them in the case, and put them in the truck, and you go to the next city. I said, I get paid for that? He said, yeah. This was in '84. You get paid $9.50 a week. I said, really? I said, that's not bad. For 1984, about $4,000 a month. I said, I can do that. I was setting up the drums one day. It was because I can play. I set the drums up, and there was a singer. Her name was Vesta Williams. She's no longer with us. So I was out. She didn't know I could play drums. She just thought I could set them up. So I'm out, I'm playing. And she's standing on the side like you said, outside. I look at her. She said, Jeffrey, she said, you can play. I said, yeah, I can play a little bit. She said, no, you can play. I said, yeah. She said, when I have a record album coming out, and I want you to play drums for me. I said, really? She said, yes. I said, okay. I played drums for her for a little bit. And then right after that, I got seen in a club by a guy that went to Berkeley School of Music in Boston. He was the musical director for Bill Withers. So Bill Withers walked into the room one day. I said, that's really him. That's when it kind of hit me. I'm like, this is kind of for real. But it didn't really hit me. Even though everything was going rehearsing and got my first rehearsal check for the week, and I'm like, okay, I'm green. I'm not knowing. I'm learning as I go. When we flew to Philadelphia, and I'm sitting behind it, like I'm looking at these curtains. I'm sitting behind the curtain. I go like, oh man, this is for real. So I'm getting ready to actually play in front of these people. All of the football stuff gotta helped, because when you're a running back on the team, you're the guy. So I just focused. I did my job, and that's when I knew this is what I'm doing.